Picture this, March 2020. The world's falling apart, oil prices are cratering faster than a lead balloon, and crude oil just hit negative territory for the first time in history. You're thinking, finally, some good news for my wallet, right? Wrong. Oil prices crashed 40% that month. 40%. But walk up to any gas station and what do you see? Prices stuck at $2.50, maybe creeping down a few cents if you're lucky. Meanwhile, remember what happened just weeks earlier when oil had its little temper tantrum upward. Those same price signs flipped faster than pancakes at IHOP. This isn't your imagination playing tricks on you. Economists have a name for this infuriating phenomenon: rockets and feathers pricing. Gas prices rocket up when oil costs rise, but float down like feathers when oil crashes. Convenient, right? Look at the charts from that 2020 collapse. Crude oil nosedives off a cliff while retail gas prices take the scenic route down like they're stopping for coffee every mile. The same pattern showed up during the 2008 financial crisis. Oil plummeted 78% from its peak, but gas stations acted like they were doing you a favor by dropping prices 50%. You see it everywhere. Reuters documented gas station owners in Texas changing their signs 3 times in one day during oil spikes, but somehow needing weeks to evaluate market conditions when crude prices fell. The Federal Trade Commission has been tracking this pattern for decades across every major oil shock and recovery. Those digital price signs that can update instantly when profits are on the line? Apparently, they develop arthritis when savings are involved. Station managers who can implement corporate price hikes within hours suddenly need extensive consultations with head office before passing along any relief to customers. But before we can understand why this happens, we need to see just how consistent and widespread this pattern really is. The Federal Trade Commission didn't just notice this once and shrug it off. They've been documenting rockets and feathers pricing for over 2 decades, and the consistency is staggering. Their 2004 report following Hurricane Katrina found gas prices shot up 46 cents per gallon in just 3 days when refineries went offline. How long did it take those same prices to come back down when operations resumed? Try 3 weeks. The 2011 FTC analysis during the Arab Spring showed identical patterns. Prices rocketed up 67 cents over 4 days, then took 19 days to drift back down. Fast forward to their 2019 comprehensive study and guess what? Nothing changed. Same rockets, same feathers, same convenient amnesia when oil prices drop. AAA has been crunching these numbers even harder. Their analysis across all U.S. regions shows gas prices rise 2.3 times faster than they fall on average. When oil spikes, your local station updates their signs in 72 hours or less. When oil crashes, suddenly they need 14 days to adjust to market conditions. Let's talk real money. That asymmetric delay doesn't just sting for a few days, it compounds. AAA economists calculated that this pricing pattern costs the average American driver between $200 and $400 annually in unnecessary fuel expenses. For a family with 2 cars, you're looking at potentially $800 per year getting siphoned out of your budget. Think about it. Over a 20-year driving lifetime, rockets and feathers pricing could cost you $16,000 in today's dollars. That's a decent used car you're essentially donating to oil companies through their selective pricing delays. The data doesn't lie across regions, time periods, or market conditions. Whether you're filling up in rural Montana or downtown Los Angeles, the pattern holds with mathematical precision. Prices love elevators going up. Now that we know this isn't just in our heads for why this supposedly makes sense. So what's the oil industry's explanation? Buckle up, because their spin game is Olympic level. The American Petroleum Institute rolled out their greatest hits playbook. According to their press releases, those delayed price drops happen because of complex inventory management systems and supply chain optimization protocols. Apparently, when oil prices rise, these systems work at the speed of light. When prices fall, of a 1990s calculator. ExxonMobil executives testified before Congress that rapid price decreases. Think about that logic for a second. Price decreases that help you? How convenient. Industry lobbyists push this narrative even harder, claiming that gas station owners need time to sell through existing inventory. Except energy economists at UC Berkeley gas stations typically hold 2-3 days. That's 72 hours, not 3 weeks. But here's where it gets really interesting. A former Shell executive showing company emails, the documents revealed executives and strategies to maximize the downward delay. One leaked email chain was particularly damning. A regional manager wrote, another executive responded, Former ExxonMobil refinery manager Sarah Chen told Washington Post reporters that these inventory explanations were complete corporate doublespeak. She explained that pricing decisions get made in corporate boardrooms, not based on tank levels at individual stations. The industry's official story falls apart faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. Their explanations only work if you ignore basic math and their own leaked communications. But what really happens inside gas stations when oil prices change tells a very different story. Here's what actually happens behind those price signs, and it's going to make your blood boil. Modern gas stations don't need weeks to change prices. They don't even need hours. Petroleum Marketers Association trade publication 60 seconds. Gas buddy analysts, station owners aren't waiting for complex market signals. Here's where it gets infuriating. Of actual pricing software interfaces, these systems have features called profit optimization mode. One interface literally has a slider bar. A former 7-Eleven franchise owner, that corporate pricing software comes preloaded translation. The system is designed, it's not a bug. Bloomberg investigators found to use price volatility periods the manual explicitly states. Remember those industry excuses about inventory management? Former Chevron regional manager David Torres that most pricing decisions bypass local stations entirely. Corporate algorithms automatically adjust prices. The technology exists. This isn't just about technology. Oil companies haven't just stumbled into this pricing pattern. Behavioral economists at Yale documented consumers expect prices to rise quickly during supply shocks. The industry didn't just notice this psychological quirk. Leaked Chevron marketing research from 2018, their internal documents discuss consumer price tolerance thresholds. One memo explicitly states, this is anchoring bias in action. When gas prices shoot up 50 cents overnight, suddenly, prices dropping 10 cents feels generous. Chevron's researchers found the psychological warfare runs deeper. After initial sticker shock. Translation: you get numb to high prices. Internal BP documents call this the normalization window. Regional pricing patterns expose the coordination. Federal Trade Commission analysis shows gas prices. When oil spikes hit, every station in a 20-mile radius when oil drops, those same stations suddenly develop unique market considerations. You're not imagining the manipulation, they've turned behavioral psychology. The evidence of deliberate market manipulation becomes even clearer. Hold on. Turns out, Rockets and Feathers Pricing the European Union looked at this exact problem. EU regulations require gas stations 24 hours. European Competition Commission enforcement data. Germany, France, and Netherlands compare that to the US average of 43% symmetry. Australia went nuclear on asymmetric pricing. Their Competition and Consumer Commission doesn't just monitor this behavior. In 2019 alone, Australian authorities levied $47 million. Their 2020 report noted that these enforcement actions, the numbers don't lie. During the 2020 oil crash, Australian gas prices dropped 34%. German prices fell 31% in the same period. American prices? A whopping 18% decrease. Same global oil markets, same supply chains. Canadian competition authorities require fuel retailers mysteriously. Most Canadian stations manage to adjust prices both directions within that window. Funny how accountability, these aren't economic miracles. European and Australian drivers don't have special gasoline genetics that require different pricing mechanisms. These countries simply decided that consumers deserve protection from predatory pricing practices. The policy tools exist. Other nations prove every single day that fair fuel pricing isn't just possible when governments actually give a damn about their citizens getting ripped off. So if other countries can solve this problem, want to know why nothing's changed in America while other countries actually protect their consumers? Follow the money. The oil industry has spent over $140 million since 2010 lobbying specifically against fuel pricing regulations. OpenSecrets.org data shows ExxonMobil alone dropped $13.8 million. Chevron spent $11.2 million that same year ensuring Congress wouldn't pass asymmetric pricing restrictions. Shell contributed another $9.4 million. But the real corruption, the revolving door, makes your head spin. Former FTC Commissioner Joshua Wright? Ex-FTC Bureau Director Deborah Feinstein? Chevron snapped her up immediately after her government service ended. American Petroleum Institute's chief counsel, these aren't coincidences. Reuters documented at least 23 former FTC officials they once supposedly regulated. When the referee joins the opposing team, you start understanding why the rules never change. Congressional action gets strangled. The Gas Price Relief Act. Republican and Democratic co-sponsors, where did it die? House Energy and Commerce Committee, who collectively received over $2.1 million, the Fuel Transparency Act of 2021, the Consumer Gas Price Protection Act. Pattern is mathematical. Any bill threatening asymmetric pricing, you're not just getting ripped off at the pump, picking your pocket every time you fill up. But there are concrete steps, consumers, the rockets and feathers effect that we can stop if we act collectively. Start with your smartphone. Don't just show you cheaper gas. That forces stations to compete. When thousands of drivers, those stations lose customers fast. Gas Buddy's data shows vote with your wheels. But individual action alone, state attorneys general in Pennsylvania, these investigations need public pressure. Contact your state AGs. Their websites have dedicated fuel pricing complaint portals. Document specific instances, screenshots of price changes. This evidence builds cases. Your representatives actually respond. Oregon passed comprehensive pricing transparency laws. Washington State followed. The template is simple. Contact your state legislators with specific language. I support requiring gas stations. Include your documented examples. Congressional offices track these communications. Support candidates who reject oil industry contributions. OpenSecrets.org shows exactly which lawmakers vote accordingly. Join consumer advocacy groups like Consumer Watchdog that actively lobby for fuel pricing regulations that individual complaints can't achieve. The technology exists for fair pricing. American consumers just need to demand it. Your wallet depends on it.